One, two, three.
One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us, guys? We're mic checking right now before we get started.
Check.
Turn off down the music a little bit. We're sharing it. If let you guys come in here. We just posted the X post talking about this live stream. Hopefully you guys can tune in. Pop is sharing it right now with his base.
Right.
He's way more popular than me on X, that's for sure.
True.
All right, hold on. Let's see. You can see me right here. Let me turn up the subscribe button. Okay, you guys could hear me. All right, let me turn down the music a little bit. There we go. Completely turn it down. Hold on. I'll wait for Crypto Poppy to be
I'm
finished.
good. Okay, whenever you are.
Beautiful. Welcome back, guys. We are back on another episode of But It Was Smooth Crypto, live technical analysis show. And on today's episode, we're going to be covering some of the most popular cryptos that we cover in the past few weeks or months now. We're going to start off with Bitcoin. We got a lot of other ones that you guys like, but definitely we want to start off with Bitcoin to see where the market is at. I know you guys seen it's been dipping a lot, definitely a lot. It's bringing down the entire altcoin market with them as well. And also, but now what it seems like is kind of recovering a little bit. So let's hope that the trend keeps going up and doesn't keep going down. But either way, for us, that looks like a very for us it's not a downturn. For us it's a discount on the coins that we're buying. We're getting the chance to scale into some coins right now. So hopefully you guys been following the channel and picked up some of the coins that we talked about. Even though it's not financial advice, but still, we call Zcash around $20 to $24 last year. I mean, not last year, 2 years ago in 2024. So, we're hoping that we catch another line in the bottle event with some other coins that we're going to be talking about today. But anyways, hold on. Let me, are you on the charts already? You're on Bitcoin?
Yep,
all right.
on Bitcoin.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's get started now. But before we get started, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're currently at 810 subscribers. We're so close to getting to 1,000. It doesn't cost a thing. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking this video, commenting down below. It doesn't cost a thing. If you guys like the live technical analysis show, please subscribe, like, and comment. All right. So for today's episode, on the first round pick for our coins that we're going to be covering, we're going to pick the Dawn, the number one, the top one of all the cryptos, Bitcoin. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right. So like we said, we're starting with Bitcoin paired with the US dollar. We're on the weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. So you could see here, we could just zoom out a little bit, take a look to see what we're working with. We're going with the overall Fibonacci in white. We have a couple trend lines in white as well, even though I probably need to change my trend line colors and then match up my horizontal ray colors a little bit. But you could see here, just zoomed out, looking at price action, you could see here, we've fallen from our previous all-time high, or our all-time high, excuse me. We've come down, we've melted through our overhead trend line here, melted through that. We really didn't even come up to retest it before continuing to the downside. Once we broke below the trend line, the Fibonacci took over. We broke down below the 618. We came below that. We were attempting to get back over the 618 here. You could see that, couple tries, movements towards the upside of the 618 before melting all the way to the downside. We came down and wicked below the 236 fib level. But what caught us? Take a look at what caught us. You could see here we drew our trend line from, trying to line it up for you guys, from July 5th, 2021, excuse me. Second touch point looks to be right here, January 24th, 2022. And we have that extended out, and you could see it's played a few roles here, right? Stopping us from breaking over top. It was a little resistance here. Once we broke above it, it turned into support. We broke even further above it. And then eventually we get pulled right back to it. And that's what just happened. If you're a Bitcoin maximalist, Maximist, excuse me, I don't even know how to say that properly. Great buy orders would have been at previous all-time highs. So you could see here, these two or three movements, top of the candle bodies here. You could see this one from November 8th, 2021. This one from April 12th, 2021, and just extend that out because it eventually needs to retest that. And that's what we just did. And then it lined up also with our trend line, which is acting as support currently. So hopefully this trend line keeps just steadily stair-stepping us up. That price action will gradually get higher and higher. And now we have our trend line over top, which will act as resistance when we eventually get back up there. So you could see here, we came back down. We broke below the 618. Like I said a few minutes ago, we retested it as resistance before getting rejected all the way back down. The 236 didn't hold up for the wick. We wicked down below the 236. We touched our support trend line here all the way from back in 2021 that we just covered. We retested that before bouncing off of it. And our candle body, let's zoom in and look at relatively, we could look at the most recent price action. You could see we wicked all the way down. Current price is at about 70,000. We wicked all the way down to about 60,000. So that wick to the downside is about a $10,000 wick. So we came down, touched and kissed the trend line as support before coming back up $10,000 and getting us above our 236. So extremely bearish for Bitcoin when we were down there around the mid to low $60,000 range. We were bought right back up because we have a lot of support to our left, right? Like I said, we covered these two highs. We covered all this price action in here. We had all that support. If you could look back at these, right? See where everything's lining up, all that support before hopefully moving back up to the upside. And that'll be a good relief rally for Bitcoin, right? We get all the news that's coming out, regardless if it's good or bad. We get a dump to come in with that because buy the rumor, sell the news. You know, it's still, Bitcoin is still at least staying true to that. So it looks like we could bounce off of this trend line as support and start moving up to the upside. So I would say from current price, I would say our horizontal ray for our highs up here that line up with a lot of candle bodies, right? You have right here, you have December 9th, 2024. You have the following week, December 16th, 2024. You have multiple wicks here. You have a bunch of candle bodies, either retesting it as resistance here or touching down as support, right? The candle body's holding up. We may wick below it, but the candle bodies are still closing above it, on it, within it, right? We come down, retest it again, and then we melt below it. So look at the about $104,000 level to be a big level to overcome on the way up. But I know JJ likes this from current price to the $104,000 range is about 46% movement to the upside. We could look at roughly current price to our trend line overhead is about 54%. To our all-time high, which is our one movement of our Fibonacci, is about 80% movement to the upside. So you could see Bitcoin still has some work to do. We're somewhat range bound, but if you zoom out and look at it, just look at this, right? We come up, we come down. We come up, we come down. We start going parabolic. Obviously, we come down. What goes up can't go up forever. We retrace to the downside. We make a new all-time high, which is more, in my opinion, a double top before melting down. A little pump back up to the upside. We melt below it. Then we gradually start building our way up before really going parabolic. Choppy action, a lot of volatility, retest that trend line, right? That was drawn from the 2021 time frame. bounce off of that, go parabolic, create a real true all-time high, pull back and create a newer all-time high, our all-time high in general, before melting down to the downside. And what are we doing? We're retracing prior all-time highs. So we're making higher highs and higher lows. So everything with Bitcoin looks good. We don't want too much more money to flow into Bitcoin because we want that money to flow into altcoins. But with it already retracing $10,000 from our most recent wick low to current price action being $10,000, it's tough to say a majority of the capital and money will probably flow into Bitcoin, but we need Bitcoin to cool off around this level. I would say between 104,000 and 96,000 is where that sweet spot. Let's chill in there. Let people take some profits and throw it into altcoins. Let's get a true and pure altcoin season going on. Let Bitcoin chill and relax a little bit to let that money flow into altcoins. And let's get a real altcoin season going. So that's all I have to say with Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks good. This is natural movement to the downside. I know people may be screaming manipulation, this and that, things about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin guides us. It's healthy to have a little dump. Let's have that dump. This is the time to buy, not financial advice, but to put some capital in. These are the prices that you see on the charts like, oh, Dash could never go to this. Anvil could never go back down to these levels. AMP could never go down to these levels. And then they do. Why aren't you just excited and ready to buy? Now you're scared and skeptical when these are the prices you were just begging for. Take advantage of it and let's make this money together, not financial advice.
And it's not normal. It's not a good thing to just let the coins run up consistently without stopping, because at some point this has to happen. Like just happened with Bitcoin, because the longer it goes, just going nonstop to the upside, at some point it's just gonna hit the downside, and that's when people are gonna start panicking. They go crazy. They're like, "Oh, this is over." That's kind of a lot of people are having that sentiment right now. Like they're like, "Oh, we gotta sell all your Bitcoin, sell all your altcoins. Now you gotta get into gold."
True.
That's a big thing right now. The big play. So let me give you guys, and this was called back in December 16, 2025. We called it on the last stream. Let me pull it up a little bigger right here. But you can see this line. It hadn't filled out yet. Look at that. The 236 level hadn't hit, but CryptoPoppy already had it set up right there.
True.
Waiting for it to happen, and it happened. So there you go, guys. All right. So that was that for Bitcoin. Honestly, I think it seems like Bitcoin's going to keep going to the upside. Hopefully it does instead of going to the downside, but it already hit the level that CryptoPoppy marked on the charts. So I'm hoping now it's just a bounce back, big bounce back that we need. People are going to get excited. Like I said, don't take this as a bad sign for your crypto. This is a discount for all the cryptos that you guys want to buy, because once Bitcoin goes down, everything else follows. And like we said, not financial advice. We've been loading up on some things that we've been loading up already. The price keeps going down. We keep buying more, and that's how you set yourself up for success when FOMO really hits. So you're not going all crazy like, oh my god, I need to get money to buy more crypto while the prices are going up, because that's what happens, and you don't want to be on that side of things. But anyways, that was Bitcoin. All right, so let me check out the list to see which one we got next. Let's see. Oh, this one is another like one by the YouTube community. Polygon, MATIC. That's the next one that we have on our list.
Oh, we covered that one before.
Yep, and that one did a really good. So let's see how it's doing right now from the last time that we covered it.
Give me a second.
Do we got some people in the chat right now? Let's see.
That was me.
Okay. Let's see. Let me just check it out either way. Let's see what we got going on. Hopefully some of you. Oh, let me turn that down. Amble. Yep, Amble over BTC.
Yes, sir.
We're Amble maxes. Okay, guys. Hopefully we get to go to the consensus this year.
It's July, right?
I think it's May.
Oh my lord.
May, Miami consensus. We gotta go see our boy Tyler.
True.
Second time that we see him, man. I think are you gonna talk to him about? Come on,
oh
yeah,
you
gonna tell him?
He'll definitely know who I am.
Oh man, he got it. Yeah, come on.
I'm buying all of his tokens.
He's the biggest investor in that token. All right.
True.
Anyways, let me. All right. So you got it up?
Yep.
Perfect. All right, guys. So the next crypto that we have in store for you guys is going to be Polygon. MATIC. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy. Let's see how it's looking right now.
All right. So we have POL paired with USD, but you guys see that it's MATIC paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from capital.com, which I don't know why it's coming in from there. Forgive me for it not being Coinbase. So you could see here from previous lives, we plotted a Fibonacci from most recent swing high, which looks to be about, I'm trying to line it up, March 11th, 2024. Then we have our zero movement, which is our swing low. Looks to be about December 29th of 2025. We have that extended out. So right away, I could show you guys and tell you that this is going to be a quick technical analysis. We have our trend line drawn from February 13th, 2023. Our second touch point of the overhead trend line is at March 11th, 2024, and then we just have it extended out to the right. And you could see here, we really haven't come out to retest it for the third touch point. So that just basically tells me that it should be incoming relatively soon, because if we just zoom out and look at the chart, you could see here from when it was listed on capital.com, we're basically at the exact same price when it was listed originally. So what goes up obviously must come down, and what goes down must eventually go up. It just can't go down forever. So all of this, what the other altcoins that we cover, is everything is so dependent on Bitcoin, right? Back in the day, Bitcoin and alts used to be counterintuitive, right? Bitcoin would be up, alts would be down. People would take their profit in Bitcoin, put it into altcoins, then Bitcoin would be down, altcoins would go up, and then vice versa. People would take their profits in altcoins into Bitcoin, then Bitcoin would go up, altcoins would go down, blah, blah, blah. Now everything moves together. So Bitcoin needs to start front running and really start moving, because if Bitcoin starts coming down, MATIC is already at its lowest end. Where is it going to go, right? We would have to find other charts that go back further than February 22nd, 2021, unless that's when this token was created. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't follow MATIC very closely at all, to be honest with you. But we're at our all-time lows, right? For this specific chart, for this almost 5-year chart. Oh, you're on lane, JJ. Yeah, for about 5 years, right? Almost to the day, right? That's the 15th. So 5 years worth of data we're looking at right here currently on MATIC. So you could just see, and again, this isn't financial advice, but when it is an extremely popular cryptocurrency like MATIC is, if it's at a 5-year low, potentially at its listing low when the token came out, the best play is to buy and hold. You're getting an opportunity that people back here in June 13th, 2022 didn't get. You're getting an opportunity here right when people think they're buying the low at, again, let's just hop a year, June 5th, 2023. People here, right, just last year, a couple of years ago, October 28th, 2024, that they think, oh, they're buying the low. Look at the charts. We're coming at a low point. We're going to just moon from here, right? We're going straight to the moon from here. No, now we're at an all-time low after 5 years of the token being listed again on capital.com. I have no idea what that is. Being listed at a 5-year low at pre-parabolic movement, all-time low. Not financial advice. This is the time to buy, right? When we still have to plug in our overhead trend line. We still have to retest that eventually. So again, for the man, the myth, the legend, JJ, from current price to the top of the horizontal ray. Jesus, I didn't know it was that much.
Wow.
And not you, Pony. Jesus, oh my goodness. 745% to the trend line that's overhead, which will act as resistance, obviously, at 745% away. But from current price up to our 236 Fibonacci level is 322%. That's an amazing movement. You're talking about going from 8 cents to 37 cents, basically, say 9 cents to 37 cents. That's a beautiful movement. And the only downside when those movements look like that is that people, decent traders will be taking profit there. So looking at the chart like, oh yeah, we could retest that trend line. We could hit the 618 Fibonacci, come back down, retest the trend line before moving up to the 786, before potentially breaking our one movement and starting to challenge our previous all-time highs. I almost don't even want to measure that, but I know we should. Let's look at current price action to the 618 is about 762%. To our 786 fib level is 966%. To our one movement, which is our most recent swing high, is 1,226%. So beautiful movement, great opportunity. I would say amazing risk to reward ratio when it comes to MATIC, not financial advice, but your minimal downside, right? Unless Bitcoin really tanks, then we could get into the decimal point with multiple zeros for MATIC, which would not be a great thing. But this token used to have a huge following. So let's hope that, we have 1,000% plus movement gains in the incoming future for MATIC, especially if Bitcoin starts to do its thing and really start to move back up to the upside and cool off and let money flow into altcoins. Well, that's all I have for MATIC. I'm passing it back to JJ.
I guess I was just looking it up right now, and it seems like MATIC has been around since it was created 2019, April 2019. So it's been around for a long time. And I guess the chart that's the most accurate for it will be Binance.
Okay.
All the way using USDT. And the current market cap on it is 1 billion. So there's money in this coin. There's a good amount of money in this coin. I think the total supply is 10 billion coins, 10.58 billion coins. So, hey, the possibilities are there with this coin, guys. So don't get discouraged if you're in Polygon. You've been in Polygon, you've been DCAing. Hopefully, you don't, if you're below the price you started buying at, not financial advice, but don't sell it just yet. There might be a big opportunity for you in the future. So just wait it a little bit. Be patient. That's what wins in this game. Patience. Okay, guys?
True.
All right. But that was that for Polygon, MATIC. And the next one that we're going to have for you guys is going to be Gala. Let me wait for Crypto Poppy to pull it up. Gala. That was another one that was pretty popular. How's the sound?
Just checking the sound. We're good.
We're good on the sound. So we're going to let Crypto Poppy pull up Gala again. Gala. That's what it's called.
All right.
Ticker Gala. That's the name, Gala.
All right. Got it.
All right. Okay, guys. For the next live crypto technical analysis video that we have for you guys today is going to be Gala. And I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy. He has it ready.
All right, we have Gala paired with the UST weekly time frame. Data is coming in from Bitfinex. Oh my gosh, I can't read. Yeah,
Bitfinex.
Oh my goodness, I should not have questioned myself. So we have Gala paired with UST weekly time frame. Data is coming in from Bitfinex. So you could see here, right? We could zoom out, adjust the charts, even though I feel like looking at this when it was listed, pumped, and then instantly dumped. I would almost want to argue that the SEC should probably look into that, but nevertheless, we'll ignore it. We shall ignore it.
How far does that one go back?
Let's take a look here. We have March 14th, 2022. Okay. So let's adjust the chart a little bit to most recent and relevant price action. So we have our swing high Fibonacci plotted on December 2nd, 2024. We have our swing low, it looks like at the bottom of this wick, October 6th, 2025. Then we just have it extended out. So just copy and paste from our last video. of MATIC. Look at Gala, looks exactly the same, right? We don't have too much price action. We're kind of range bound, even though it's hard to call this range bound from our swing low up to our swing high. Oh, Jesus. 2,107%. So that is definitely not a range. But to the naked eye, this looks like we're range bound, right? You could imagine the square being drawn here. If I could find the square drawing attachment right in here. Where's our rectangle? Is it in here with the Fibonacci?
Is that with the trend line?
Is it with the trend line? Wow, why can't I find it? Oh, well, we don't have to draw it. But it just looks like, right, we could draw a square from here, down here, and down at the bottom. That looks range bound, even though it's a huge range. It doesn't look like it's a 2,000% range. But you could see here, we're at the bottom of our movement. We're at all-time lows on the Bitfinex chart. So what do we do at all-time lows? If you still have some liquidity left, not financial advice, this is the time to buy. You buy at all-time lows. This is when the market is scared, is when you shouldn't be scared. When the market is selling, you want to be the one buying. So this is not financial advice. This is an excellent opportunity to buy. But I would, if I was interested in Gala, which, forgive me, I'm not, I would look at different exchanges that it's listed on to get more data to really see where we're at. Are we at all-time lows or are we not on some charts? On the current Bitfinex chart, we're at all-time lows. We're creating those all-time lows. So you could see from here where we're at. We could draw a trend line, but it's pointless, right? We're not really going to come up and touch it, but I will now since I said it. So we'll draw the top of the trend line on February 26, 2024. Second touch point for the trend line will be here, December 2nd, 2024, and we just have it extended out to the right. So you could see here, give us a couple different areas to measure from current price action to our 236 fib level, roughly current price action to the 236. Once we start moving to the upside, is about 347% movement to the upside. From current price to the trend line is 600% movement to the upside. Then from current price action to our 618 is 909% movement to the upside. So you could see, again, just like our previous token we covered in the last video, we're at all-time lows for the chart. Very minimal downside potentially. We're already at 0.00 with about 1,000% movement to the upside, even 600% movement to the upside to the 618. So not financial advice, but potentially room to 6x your money. Amazing movement, amazing setup. Gala, off the top of my head, I think it's a gaming token.
You are correct. You are correct.
And that's off the top, off the rip. I don't give a crap about some of these tokens, but a great opportunity. If this is a token you've already dollar cost averaged in, we're at all-time lows. Beautiful time to dollar cost average, not financial advice, but this is when you want to be a majority of your percentage into the market. And then as we approach and start making 600% movements to the upside, you want to start getting a majority of your money out, not financial advice once again, but everything looks good with Gala. But again, all eyes would be on Bitcoin over the altcoins that you're invested in. To be honest with you, if you're a popular, well-established token like Gala, I would have all of the attention on Bitcoin just to see where we're at. Are we going to continue to move to the upside, or are we going to start to build up some momentum and start to stall out towards the upside with Bitcoin so money could flow into altcoins? But that's all I have for Gala, my guy.
Let's give him a little history on Gala. Why not? So Gala was created back in 2020. The 2019 Gala Games was founded by Eric Scheimeyer. He's the co-founder of Singa. I'm sure you guys heard of Singa if you guys are gamers. A big gaming creator. Then I guess it started giving people In 2020, the Gala token started being distributed through the Gala Games ecosystem. So the gamers, the people that were using the Gala gaming blockchain, got the token first. And then in September 2020, that's when it started officially trading publicly. So it's been around for quite a good some time. And it says here, the market cap somewhere between 220 million to 360 million. And what else? Let's see. And the best chart to look at it is going to be... it will be either Trading Views, Gala USD, or Coin Market Cap or CoinGecko charts. So USD probably, but it's been around a while. So we probably missed. What is it? Where did that chart start at on Gala?
2021, I believe. Let me take a look though.
Yeah. 2021 or 2022?
2022.
Okay, so maybe 2 years, that 1 year and a half or year and so that we missed. So it could have been lower. Who knows, right? But
True.
anyways, yeah. So that was that for Gala. It seems like it's a lot of potential, just like Polygon, the one that we just looked at. All right, so that was that. Let's go to the next one. Oh, we really like this one when somebody brought it up on the live chat last time. Can you pull up?
No.
Can you pull up JYAI?
No.
Hey, that one did good on YouTube.
Turtle.
Yeah, Jerry the Turtle, created by Matt Fury, the creator of the Pepe cartoon, not the coin. He created the cartoon, the Pepe cartoon, the little peep. So I guess he created this I don't know if he created it for sure, because people just claim things like that, like, oh, this token was created by the creator of this.
Right.
Anybody could create any crypto token, so just know that, guys.
True.
Okay? All right. But anyways, we already covered this before. The next slide technical analysis that we're going to be doing right now on the channel is going to be JYAI, Jerry the Turtle token, something. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right, so we're going to do Jerry the Turtle, weekly time frame. Data is coming in from crypto.com. So you could see here, beautiful movement right when it was listed, which looks like it was April 21st, 2025. So super recently, not even a year old. Had a beautiful run up. Amazing run up, actually, before it crashed back down. We didn't retrace all of those gains before starting to move up to the upside and create a new all-time high before dumping back down to the upside. But we had decent spikes up, decent wicks up to the upside, which you typically see these down to the downside, right? Price wanted to come back up, but all the sellers were in the market, probably the creator, selling off some tokens, potentially selling off the tokens, just driving the market down a little bit. We tried to come back up again before getting rejected to the downside, made one last push to the upside before rejecting to the downside, went sideways, and it looks like we created a new zero movement. So let's unlock our Fibonacci and let's drag it down ever so slightly to those wicks. There we go. Let's lock it back into place so it lines up a little bit better with our zero movement to see what we could potentially do in the future. Let's zoom in real quick so you can see the bottom here. We have a nice bounce off of our zero movement, but we're so close to the zero movement, just worries me that we could still potentially crash down there. And we also are coming back up and retesting when we were listed, right? You see our wick broke just slightly above those levels here when it was listed, and we're fighting it. We're finding a lot of resistance there, which is strange. It isn't what you want to see. You want to see some strong bounce through resistance, especially when it was listed, and start pushing and moving back up to the upside. So I'm not fully confident that we have our bottom movement in here. And based on the chart, it's kind of hard to see where our all-time low would be because, again, it probably was originally listed on a different exchange. But we could get our measuring tool out from current price action to our 236 fib level. Man, these tokens just move. The ones we've been looking at, oh my goodness. From current price action to the 236 is 226% movement to the upside. From current price up to our 618 would be about 664% movement to the upside. And from current price action up to our 786 fib level, I'm trying to line it up, would be about 840% movement to the upside. So a ton of upside potential. potentially on the current exchange pairing that we're looking at, very minimal downside. But again, if you're in the token, amazing time to dollar cost average, not financial advice. But if you're not in the token, I would want to see clear, decisive movement to the upside, candle body closure, even though this is still 200% away, to take advantage of a couple hundred more percent movement to the upside. So Jerry the Turtle, you're skating on thin ice down here where we could potentially break below and start. We can't get into the negatives, but we could add a couple more zeros and keep grinding down to the downside. But again, what's Bitcoin going to do? Are we going to get some life forced into Bitcoin, pushed into Bitcoin and start moving up to the upside and let these altcoins get some relief and start popping off? Or are we going to continue going to the downside? It's starting to approach a bear market potentially? Only time will tell. I'm typically decent when it comes to calling the bearish bias. I don't think we're quite there yet. Again, not financial advice, but who knows?
Yeah.
Could Jerry the Turtle start making 1,000% movements to the upside? Oh, yeah. And lead us and continue us into this bull market? Or is Bitcoin going to continue to come down to the downside and we add a couple more zeros to this and just wreck people? Again, I hope that it's the bullish bias and not the bearish bias. If you're in Jerry the Turtle, I would definitely recommend not financial advice, but dollar cost averaging. If your average price, if your average price is below current market price, amazing buying opportunity. If the current market price is if current market price is below your average dollar cost average point, then I would say just be patient, put that money elsewhere, maybe into Anvil, not financial advice, but be patient. Tokens like this, meme coins like this take a while, but once they blow up, they blow up.
I mean, you've seen that. I mean, the movements are pretty small.
Takeover.
Yeah, so that was, CryptoPop is done with it. There's not much more to say about it. But as you can see, those movements, you're going to see a different contrast because we're going to get to some more serious coins. Not to talk down on this meme coins, but yeah, like these movements on these types of coins, they're crazy, this is why people get into these coins. It's more of a, I want to say gamble, and I'm going to say more of a gamble because crypto's already risky as it is. And then you get into some more risky tokens like this one, Jerry the Turtle, and it's not officially associated with Matt Fury, the creator of the Pepe the Frog, Peep the Frog, the one from the meme coin. So, be careful when you get into these coins. Know that the potential is there, but also know that the risk is there.
True. And
also, this super new coin, it was created in 2025. So, be careful when you get into these types of coins. But anyways, that was Jerry the Turtle token. We really like the name of it. It's pretty cool. We like the names, of course, but, we can't be buying coins just because we like the names anymore. Okay, guys? But anyways, all right. So let's get into some more serious coins for the adults. So here.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get into the next one right now. This one used to be in the top 3. He was one of the big 3.
Oh, no way.
We're gonna do light technical analysis on Litecoin LTC.
LTC.
Hey, we sponsored the LTC convention, the summit, back in Vegas. Man, I missed that.
That was fun.
Where's it going to be at now? Is it going to be in Amsterdam?
You don't want to know. It's in Amsterdam.
We'll see what happens. All right. But anyways, guys, we're going to do light technical analysis on Litecoin LTC, and I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Puppy.
All right, so we have Litecoin paired with the US dollar. We're on the weekly time frame. Data is coming in from Coinbase. So this isn't good for Litecoin.
No.
You could see here we have our trend line drawn from, I'll zoom in so I could show you. We have our first touch point here, March 9th, 2020. So almost a 6-year valid trend line, not validation. Second touch point is June 13th, 2022, and that's extended out to the right. But look what happened. We broke below it, right? We've wicked below it, but now we've broken below it and we have candle body closures below it. Not very good for Litecoin, but I will have to make a mental note of this because if Litecoin starts to approach the low $40 range, which is our Fibonacci swing low, which is low from about 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago, we're going to have to start looking left a lot, right? Because we would have the low $20 range.
Wow.
And again, this is not financial advice, but Litecoin for me for a long time has been my savings account instead of, right? Like I've talked about the money when I used to run back to USD, to bank accounts, typical traditional finance. Ever since I stopped doing that, Litecoin has been my savings account. And this is rough to see Litecoin wick down to about $45. That's not very strong for Litecoin. We need to start breaking and moving back up to the upside. So with Litecoin, we broke below our trend line, which was been acting as resistance since about 2020. So almost a 6-year time frame for this trend line. And now we just recently broke above it. The only thing that I would feel better about this if we were to get the V-shaped correction to the upside, but realistically, we would probably have to pump back to about $120 per token or above, and then this trend line would have to hold as support if we were to get there. So little bullish momentum for Litecoin. If we continue to break out of this trend and continue either sideways or to the downside, I'm going to have to get rid of this trend line potentially, even though in the future it would probably act as very strong resistance. And I'm just worried now that eventually these two trend lines will meet and will be below our white trend line. So that a lot of resistance to overcome for Litecoin when it does start moving to the upside. Support, right? We could just go back here. Right, that low from March 16th, 2020 puts us, look over to the right, $25.39. We could come to the left a little bit more, roughly in this time frame, December 3rd, 2018, $20.16, right? If those don't hold up, we're going back here to, 2016, 2017, 2018. I guess that's not realistic at being at $3, but just above it. If Litecoin doesn't hold in the mid $25 in the mid $20 range or low $20 range, the guess is yours where it could go because it's going to crash down to the downside. So let's do a couple of measurements. We'll start off with the bullish measurements from current price up to the 236 would be 95% movement to the upside. To the bottom of our red box of resistance would be 127% movement to the upside. To the top of our red box would be 145% movement to the upside, along with our purple trend line that's going to act as resistance. So a decent chunk of upside potential, but now downside potential we still need to look at, especially for Litecoin, to see if that risk to reward ratio is there. Roughly from current price action down to, let's start at $30. To $30 would be 44% movement to the downside. To $25 would be 53% movement to the downside. And worst case scenario, the $20 range would be 61% movement to the downside. So not financial advice, but not a very great risk to reward ratio setup on Litecoin. Even though I love Litecoin with all my heart, it's the first token I was actually a fanboy over. But little movement of decent chunk of upside potential on Litecoin, but you still have a decent chunk of downside potential on Litecoin. So not financial advice, but I would set out on Litecoin. If you already have some skin in the game, be patient, get your sell limits in for your take profits, and just, sit it and forget it. Not financial advice.
Whoa, Litecoin, what's going on, buddy?
True.
We like you a lot too. But I mean, the market cap on it right now is $5.3 billion. So there's some good amount of money in there. So, but anyways, I mean, Litecoin's still a pretty strong coin. Like Crypto Poppy says, he uses it as a savings account. So that should tell you, you know, how he feels about that coin, how safe it is for people just to put money in there. But yeah, it's just lagging behind, really lagging behind. And that's not the only coin. Ethereum has been lagging behind. But this is such a weird market because there hasn't been as many positive news as that. You know, from all the time we've been in crypto, there's been so many positive news right now happening right now, especially with the government getting involved with crypto. The biggest companies in the world, BlackRock, Vanguard, Fidelity, all those huge investment properties, countries, United States states trying to buy Bitcoin to hold it in their reserves. It's an insane time of why so much money is going. All these people are getting into it, but the prices are still so low. But I mean, it could be a shakeout for all the weak hands to get out and the big institutions to get in at a lower price. And also, too, and I think another thing that has to do a lot with the price being so low. The Clarity Act that everybody's been waiting for is still not set in stone. They're still arguing. The crypto exchanges, specifically more Coinbase, is fighting for them to be able to still give us yield on our stable coins. And it seems like they're saying the banks they're not for that. They don't want us to get yield. But I mean, it could be other things. But it makes sense to me because why would the banks want to give ground to crypto? Because why would you go to put your cash into a bank account? Well, what's the maximum yield you get on a savings account right now?
Right. Yeah.
Less than 1%, right?
Oh, way less.
Yeah, way less than 1%. When you put your money, just park it in crypto in a stable coin, which still the value holds. So, one USDC holds the value of a United States dollar. And then you also could get on top of that 3.5%, at least on Coinbase, yearly yield. And maybe other exchanges are offering a little bit more.
Right.
So it seems like that's the big sticking point. I don't know. It could be that, maybe other stuff too. But I think until the Clarity Act passes, that's when the big companies are gonna get the green line and say, you know what? All right, you guys can start dumping money into this thing. And when that happens, hopefully, there's still a lot of good sentiment from us, other people that that have been waiting as well, and that's gonna let open the floodgates and just we have the best goddamn altcoin season ever. Because
amen,
we've been waiting for a really long time now. True. And I know a lot of people are getting tired of waiting. All right, so that was that for Litecoin. Beautiful coin, we love it. A really good investment, not financial advice. But anyways, that was that. Let's get into another series of coins that we have here. Algorand. ALGO. A lot of people really like Algorand. It's very popular on YouTube. You got it?
Yep.
All right, guys. So the next slide technical analysis video that we're gonna do right here today is gonna be Algorand, and I'm gonna hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right, we have Algorand paired with the US dollar, weekly time frame. Data is coming in from Coinbase. So you could see from our swing high to our swing low on ALGO, we're still over here skating on the bottom of the zero movement, which is our swing low movement with ALGO. So all this needs to do right. We're at our all-time lows on the Coinbase chart. So we're extremely far from our all-time highs, right? It's safe to say since we're at all-time lows. So we could just look at our Fibonacci, right? We can't look to our left to see where support is because we're on support. We're on our swing low. We're at our all-time low. So the only way, right, what goes down must come up. We can't just be sideways and down forever, even though this is a beautiful movement to the upside, but we've retraced that basically 99.5% of the way. So again, we need to lean on Bitcoin. We need to say, hey, Bitcoin, get your stuff together and let's start moving to the upside, and then let's cool down and let some of this money flow into altcoins. So not too much technical analysis we could do. We could zoom in and take a look here, right? I can't even plot a trend line because if I put First touch point here, December 2nd, 2024. Second touch point here, January 13th, 2025. We're just going to be cutting through it right here, which we just need to start moving to the upside, and that'll give us all the validation we need. But realistically, we need to get above the 236 Fibonacci level. This is going to be the shortest technical analysis of tonight because there's nothing we could do. So from roughly current price up to our 236 would be about 692% movement to the upside. It really doesn't even look like that, right? It looks like that we could have a couple green candles and it would take us there, right? But that would be 692% movement to the upside. So outside of that, it's kind of pointless to continue to measure because that's such a huge movement on its own. But from roughly current price action up to our blue horizontal ray is 1,280% movement to the upside, which we plotted. That's just cutting through some candle bodies, couple of wicks, right, where there's a lot of price action where we could incur some resistance. But of course, we would already be up 1,200%. Obviously, we're going to find some resistance with people taking profit, of course. But that would take us from 9 cents to $1.42. So that's an enormous movement. Even from 9 cents to 73 cents, that's an amazing movement. Not financial advice, but why wouldn't you take any skin out of the game when we got there? ALGO too is so similar to XRP and tokens like that. Cardano. Who's to say we can't just start moving to the upside and just start mooning? ALGO could lead us in this bull market. Let's go. Money flow into ALGO and start taking off, lead these altcoins to the promised land. But ALGO looks good. We only have the Coinbase chart, and at the Coinbase chart, looks like it was listed June 17th, 2019. So we're talking well over 6 years of price action, and we're at all-time lows. You tell me. You give me financial advice. I'm looking for financial advice. If we're at a 6-year all-time low on a token, what should I do? Please, I'm looking for advice. You let me know what I should do in this situation, right? Where we're at all-time lows, and we have roughly from current price action to the next Fibonacci level, over 700%, to our horizontal ray, 1,600%, to our 618 Fibonacci level, 2,033%, which let's call it 2,000%, and the 33 could cover the fees and potentially taxes. What should I do in this situation, right? I'm looking for financial advice. You guys let me know.
I think you got to buy Buttcoin.
True. Buttcoin. Oh my God. True. Well, that's it for ALGO. This is extremely simple. This one's extremely straightforward. We're at a 6-year low. So you tell me, what do we need to do here?
And I think we got the most accurate chart for this coin because it was created in 2017, but the mainnet, I guess when it was launched, is June 2019. So I think we're pretty close to it. And also right now the current market cap is either somewhere between 800 to 880 million. So there's a lot of money in these coins,
True.
But there could be a lot more. So we just got to wait a little bit and see where time takes us and where the market goes. But anyways, that was that for Algorand. Let me pull up the next one real quick. All righty. So this is another favorite one for us. It's going to be Compound.
Okay.
COMP. Another coin that has a lot of potential out here in the streets. Let's see how it's doing right now.
Oh,
I mean, if it's anything like the other ones, I think it's not gonna look too good. But like this is when you want to get into the market now. Financial advice, of course. But where you want to be? You want to be in the streets picking up all this when there's blood on the streets, when nobody wants to buy. Everybody's so scared right now, So this is where we're, when you get in, when nobody wants to buy, when the prices are so low. You don't want to buy the most expensive house, right? You don't want to buy the most expensive car. You want to buy when it's on a discount. Oh, that's my favorite coin. It's at a discount. Let me buy it. But of course, most people don't have that mentality, which is honestly kind of good for us because then we get in at the lower prices.
True.
But anyway, I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy. We're going to do live technical analysis on Compound, COMP.
All right. I know. All right. We have Compound paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from Coinbase. So forgive us on these past couple tokens. There's not too much to do. You could see here, right? We were listed on Coinbase in about June 22nd, 2020. So it's coming up on its 6-year anniversary on Coinbase. We pumped, we dumped, we went parabolic, created an all-time high at almost $1,000 a token before crashing back down, retracing a little bit of that, coming up to about a little over $500 a token before melting to the downside and just gradually stair step into the downside, right? We're heading downstairs before potentially we're talking almost 4 years of basically going sideways. 4 years. I get if we zoom in, these will be beautiful big movements to the upside, but we just retrace 100% of those movements. So let's zoom in and take a look at the most relevant price action here. We can't even plot a Fibonacci because the most recent high is extremely ridiculous. We could possibly plot one from here to make it more realistic, but I would consider that a Fibonacci extension. So we're just going to go with horizontal raise, right, where we have a lot of support, a little bit of resistance, and we just have it extended out, which it occurred again here on our way down. Another one, support, support, support. Then we broke below it, resistance, resistance, little resistance, little support, resistance here. So we could expect both of those levels at $92.61 and $126.75 to be resistance in the near future. We would have to start moving up to the upside. So let's zoom out here too. Look at the dotted red line, which is our current price.
Oh boy.
We're at lows. We're at our all-time lows over the past damn near coming up on 6 years in a couple months. We'll be at our all-time 6-year low mark. So you tell me, again, I'm looking for financial advice. What should we do here? Should we sell the tokens we've accumulated, right, that we're down upside down on now? Or should we buy more tokens here? Again, I'm looking for financial advice. So if I could put anybody on a retainer, I would love and appreciate that. We're currently at $17.37 per token for Compound. So all we could realistically do here is take measured movements because we're at our all-time low for Compound when it comes to the Coinbase chart. So from current price up to our horizontal ray at about $92 is 430%. Oh my goodness. To our second horizontal ray is 639%. And I haven't even moved our trend line over. That's probably at about a little over 700% movement to the upside. So again, just like the other couple of videos we had before this, couple tokens we covered before this, is we're at our all-time lows for a 5 or 6 or 7 year time frame. This is the time to buy, to not be scared, to get into the token even harder, even more that you've been dollar cost averaging. Not financial advice. Compound has a great setup. It could only go down so much more. So much more. We're already at the downside. When we do see a spike down to the downside, it'll hopefully end up just being a wick before we start going parabolic and starting to move up to the upside, because this token is too similar to Zcash. Compound is too similar to Zcash. Compound is too similar to Dash. Compound is too similar to Litecoin to be valued at $17.37 per token. So I would say Compound is a great buying opportunity, not financial advice. But if you're not going to have sell limits, take profits plugged in right after your orders fill on Compound, then stick to whatever meme coin or poop coin you like. That's all I have for Compound, not financial advice.
Oh boy. So yeah, Compound was distributed in June 2020. So that's when when it was created. That's when the price started tracking. And also right now, it seems like the market cap on is anywhere between 168 million to 175 million. there's some poop coins that poop this type of money. So,
True.
So it's just a matter of time for something like this to start popping off. And man, it's just crazy because of all the news that we have out there. I know Bitcoin is dumping and it's causing the whole market to dump too.
Right.
But it just takes it's already started catching up a little bit, and that's just a little bit of a recovery. But once it starts really recovering, let's say we go up to I think the level that Crypto Bobby had, $104,000 for Bitcoin. Man, I think everything else is gonna follow, and it's gonna be precious. It's gonna be great because people are looking for some hope, and when that formula starts kicking in, everything's gonna follow it. All right, guys. So that was that for Compound. Let's see. Anybody in the chat? I think it's a slow Friday night for the chat tonight.
Oh yeah, we're late.
Oh yeah. All right. So, anyways, all right. So let's see what do we got next for you guys. So for the next one, another one that's related to Zcash and Compound, it's gonna be Dash. Oh yeah, Dash. Where you at?
Got it.
To us. All right, guys. So for the next slide technical analysis video, we're gonna have and do Dash, and I'm gonna hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right, we have Dash paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from none other but Coinbase. So you could see here, I just zoomed out the chart so we could take a look, right? We see when it was listed on Coinbase, roughly September 16th, 2019. We had an initial dump before getting bought up, making an all-time high, getting dumped back down, going sideways a little bit before going absolutely parabolic from about $63 up to about $470, maybe a little bit over $475 before the creators possibly taking profit, enjoying that. And we crash all the way back down to about $100, bounce back up to $284. We move a little sideways before we start stair-stepping our way down. Stair-stepping went sideways a little bit in 2022 before making a little movement to the upside before coming right back down. So we could adjust our charts to look at most recent and most relative price action. You could see our one movement of our Fibonacci is drawn here, February 6, 2023. Our swing low should be adjusted down to the downside a little bit, but it looks like it's currently drawn on July 8th, 2024 and extended out to the right. So we had an exciting movement, exciting times in Dash a couple months back, right? When we went from about $20 all the way up to $148. So a great movement on Dash just here recently, but we crashed all the way back down. Our Fibonacci levels tried to save us and guide us and find support on before moving back up to the 786 level. To our one movement before crashing back down to our 236. So we're a little range bound. We're a little choppy. Let me do this. We have that locked into place. I'm just going to leave it how it is now. So you could see here we're finding a little resistance. We're finding a little support at our 236 Fibonacci level. But unlike most of the tokens, most of the altcoins that we've covered already, we're at our zero movement. We're at our all-time low. But we have Dash here set up beautifully, which is already sitting on the 236. We've already made a decent movements to the upside, and we're already coming back down to our 236 level and holding strong now for almost coming up on 2 full months. I guess we're at 2 full months currently, holding up strong on our 236 level. So this is a little validation for me that we could start to continue to the upside. Worst case scenario, we put in a couple more of these movements of wicking up to almost $100, coming back down to the mid $30 range, wicking up to almost $100, coming down to the mid $30 range. We could be range bound with Dash. But again, as long as we're gradually making higher highs and lower highs, it's bullish. It's a great movement for Dash. But again, we need to start eyeing and looking at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin needs to continue to start moving up to the upside, grinding to the upside a little bit more. From current price action to our 618 fib level is 64% movement to the upside. To our 786 fib level is 94% movement to the upside. to our current one movement is 132% movement to the upside, and to our 618 overhead is 238% movement to the upside. So great upside potential. I would say I feel a little more confident with Dash compared to the other tokens we covered previously before this, just because we are sitting at that 236 fib level and not at our zero movement. We're not sitting at a 4, 5, 6 year all-time low, just skating by, getting by on that. We're actually at our 236 level. We've had life in this token. We've had a lot of life pump in, dump into this token. So great upside potential, potentially very minimal downside potential. But again, all eyes are on Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin going to do? Where are we going to go from here? So that's it for Dash. Passing it back to JJ.
And that was Dash, another one of our favorite tokens. It looks good so far, and it kind of wants to wake up. That's the only one that's had some motion, and a few ones, the past coins that we've been looking at so far. But it just takes a little bit of time. But you know what though? It's looking pretty good so far from everything else. I think it's still, when I looked at my portfolio, my Dash, I think it's still up like 40%. So it's not bad at all. So anyways, that was Dash for you guys. And let's do another one that's very close to Dash, Compound. And, CryptoPoppy already mentioned it. And it's been doing big moves. And I think even still right now, it's still up pretty good. I'm going to say we're going to pull up Zcash. Let's see what Zcash is looking like right now. Awesome. All right, guys. So for the next live technical analysis video, we're going to do Zcash, C-E-Z, Zcash. Hand it over to CryptoPoppy.
All right, so we have Zcash paired with the US dollar, weekly time frame. Data's coming in from Coinbase. Forgive the messy chart, but we've had beautiful movement on Zcash. We've been tracking this as closely as possible, and most of us have taken profit almost at the exact teeter-totter top of it. That Fibonacci hasn't been moved for quite some time, and it has came through beautifully. So let's just zoom in right away and start looking at Zcash. Let's see what we could expect from Zcash in the short to near term future, near term future, excuse me. So you could see here, right, we just broke out. Zcash went parabolic. It said, see you later. It said, see you later, 236. See you later, 618. Okay, we'll come and chill for a second. Wait a second. See you later, 786. Okay, one movement. See ya. We'll come back down and retest our Fibonacci, which we've done a couple times now, which not Fibonacci, excuse me, our trend line, which you could see here. First touch point of the trend line is drawn here, December 21st, 2022. Second touch point here looks like February 21st, 2022, and we just have it extended out to the right. Once we broke above it, you could see right, where do we want to get pulled right back to us to the trend line? We wick below it before a candle body's closing above it. We go absolutely extra parabolic and create a true, real all-time high for Zcash. Then where do we go once we start getting pulled back down? We go to our 618 movement, bounce off of that, go to our second 618 movement, get rejected from there, find slight support before getting rejected all the way down to our trend line, which is where we're currently at and we're currently bouncing off of, right? So this is just a beautiful movement, beautiful setup, amazing gains on the table, right? As crazy it is to say, but this is just someone that's been in Zcash since, the teen levels of price action. At $230, this is a beautiful buying opportunity because we're bouncing off of a multi-touch point trend line that's played out beautifully. So not financial advice, but great opportunity bouncing off of the current trend line on Zcash. So it's an amazing setup. We could potentially continue to the upside. The last token we covered was Dash, and we were at the 236 fib level, sitting on it finally. testing it as support before we continue to the upside. Now we've already cleaned out all the Fibonacci's. We've already blasted through a majority of them. And now we're teeter-tottering on a multi-year, multi-touch trend line. This is absolutely bullish, and I hope that Zcash leads us into and continues a very strong bull market. We could get out our measuring tool roughly from current price action to our first movement of our 618 is 46% movement to the upside. To our second movement of the 618 is 134% movement to the upside. And our third movement of our 618 is 217% movement to the upside, which is our previous all-time high. So look for us to move that 217% and truly start creating more all-time highs, which would take us to $866 per token. And that's our last movement of the current Fibonacci, which we would have to plot a new one from our swing high to our potential swing low. But we don't know for sure if this is our current swing low. But I would trust that trend line, right? Because I could move that Fibonacci and we could just retest it and put our zero movement of the Fibonacci on the trend line. But that's for a different live stream in the near future. Everything looks good with Zcash, not financial advice. Decent buying opportunities with very minimal downside, even though if we do start moving to the downside, we could really start coming back down to the $70 range, $60 range, $44 range, to potentially the low $20 range. But hopefully we don't have to worry about that for quite some time until Zcash gets at or above $866 per token. So that's it for Zcash. Beautiful movement that's been put in. Back to JJ.
Yep, Zcash is definitely very beautiful token, and it seems like it's going to recover very well because every time Bitcoin bounces up to the upside, Zcash follows very strongly as well. It's moving in the 10s and 20 percentages when it moves, especially if it starts going to the upside, it's following Bitcoin pretty well. And some people are saying that Zcash is the other Bitcoin, the privacy Bitcoin, because you can't trade Zcash. True. And a lot of people that's the sentiment on the internet, that Zcash is the privacy Bitcoin. So yep. It has a lot of good sentiment on the online right now. It's kind of like, it's kind of getting the same up. It feels kind of like when people were talking about XRP as well. True. That's the type of fan base you get it with Zcash as well. So that matters a lot with crypto. What the vibe is out there for that coin, and it's a really good vibe, and a lot of money's in it, and it seems like it's gonna keep going to the upside. And you saw that trend line. Crypto Poppy has part of that
multi-year trend line.
Multi-year trend. He plotted right back in around December 16th to 2025. That's where he kind of adjusted it again. So it's been there. He called it. It looks like it's gonna be bouncing off of it. So let's see. Hopefully it goes back up and it surpasses his all-time high price. All right, guys, that was Zcash. We got two more. The next one's gonna be SwftCoin, SWFTC. Coin. Let's see if Crypto probably has it. I know he has it ready for us too.
Nope. Oh,
see that, guys? I'm a happy camper. Oh my goodness.
True. True.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, guys. All right. For the next live technical analysis video, we're gonna do SwftCoin, SWFTC, and I'm gonna hand it over to Crypto Poppy.
All right, we have SwftCoin paired with the US dollar. Weekly time frame data is coming in from none other but Coinbase. You could see here it was listed on Coinbase July 18th, 2022, and we instantly dumped. We went sideways throughout the rest of 2022 into 2023. All the way through 2023 before getting a little life put in the token in 2023, moving to the upside throughout 2024, creating an all-time high on the Coinbase chart for Swift token in early 2024, dumping back down, trying to come up to challenge that previous all-time high, getting rejected back down, going sideways through the rest of 2024 into 2024, going parabolic, moving and creating a new all-time high before getting dumped back down. Here comes January, the start of 2025. Yeah, we went absolutely parabolic, roughly to almost 5 cents per token before rejecting and getting rejected all the way back down from roughly 5 cents down to under a penny, a fraction of a penny, before coming back up to almost 2 pennies. Just chopping around, coming sideways, stair-stepping our way down, and we're currently plugging in some lows for Swift token. So let's adjust our chart to look at current price action. You could see here slightly range bound between our horizontal rays, right, which we've been range bound before, broke below it before starting to go parabolic. And that's what we've done. We've re-entered that range, broke above it, couldn't get candle bodies to close. We broke below it, closed a couple candle bodies right below, trying to get back in that range, getting rejected, coming back below. And you could see here, we came below and then we started going parabolic, retesting before moving up to the upside. So we could potentially do that same thing as long as we're holding strong here on our purple, I guess that's our price action. But as long as we hold decent here and we don't start breaking down to the downside here with our trend line to the downside, even though we start going into the negatives if we go too low, as long as we start to curve this around and start coming into the up, coming back into this this price range here, we could potentially start getting thrown up and tossed up a little bit higher. But again, a token like this revolves around the liquidity, the money going into it. And then again, what's Bitcoin doing? Because this is already listed on Coinbase. What's Bitcoin doing, right? We need to start moving up to the upside. We really can't plot a trend line down below to start guiding us to the upside just because we don't have that much price action and there's not very many wicks going on. When we go sideways, we go sideways. So let's take a look here from current price action to the bottom of our box of range boundness, which is our blue horizontal ray, is 30% movement to the upside. To the top of that range, which is another blue horizontal ray, is about 98% movement to the upside. Then to our white horizontal ray, which lines up with some price action here to the left, is about 236% movement to the upside. So again, amazing upside potential, very minimal downside potential, even though the percentage would probably be astronomical. 50% movement to the downside. And that would just put us here, right where we were early 2024. So 45% movement to the downside. But if we break below that, we're going to still continue slightly lower. So this doesn't have an amazing setup, but if you are a fan of SwftCoin, if you've been dollar cost averaging, buying into this token and your average price is below current market price, hey, beautiful opportunity to buy. If your average price is above current market price, I would say sit on your hands, put that money elsewhere. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily need to run out and buy some more because that potential capital will go a lot further if we do dump that 45%. Now you could buy 45% more tokens than you would just by sitting on your hands for a couple weeks, couple months, whatever it may be. So SwftCoin looks halfway decent. If you're not in it, I probably wouldn't look to get into it. But again, if you're in it, like I just said, take a look at your average cost, take a look at current price and see where you're at. Is it a time to sit on your hands or is it a time to deploy capital? Not financial advice. And good luck to you.
All right, guys. So, I mean, it seems like this coin has been trading since early 2018, so it's been around for a while. Yeah.
Wow.
It seems like the current market cap on it is about $38 to $55 million, so it's pretty low. So it wouldn't take too much money to start getting this coin going. And the circulated supply is about 10 billion tokens.
Nice.
So,
not bad.
You know, not too bad. Not too bad. All right, guys. So the last one, but not least, of the tokens that we're going to be covering today, right, now the next one we have for the next live technical analysis video is going to be Ethereum Classic. Let's see how that coin is doing. We love Ethereum Classic because it's a classic.
True.
It's even better than the regular Ethereum. Can you believe that? I'm just kidding. I'm not sure. But it has a lot of more potential right now from what we're looking at the chart. So I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy and let's see where it's at right now. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
All right, so we have Ethereum Classic paired with the US dollar. We're on the weekly time frame. Data is coming in from Coinbase. So we're just zoomed out here to take a look. It's a little hard to plot a Fibonacci currently on it. You could see here it was listed in Coinbase about July 18th, 2016. So it's been around for a long time. We have a decent amount of pumps, we have a decent amount of pumps, and we have a decent amount of consolidation and sideways movement. We have beautiful parabolic movement all the way up to about $175 per token, with the crash coming all the way back down to, I guess, current price action, $8.56. So Fibonacci is a little tough to plot on here, but we do have horizontal raise at $56.22 and $75.06 for overhead projections of not financial advice, but where some of us may have take profits laddered in with some orders. But again, not financial advice. You see here, very minimal downside, right? Because we could only crash down so much more. That'd take us to $2.83. Just keep it safe, say $3 from just about $9, $8.54 where we currently are. So there is some downside potential. But again, if we break to the $3 range, then we'd have to look at, a dollar or sub-dollar range into the cents. So ETC looks good. Again, it's hard to plot trend lines to as support and or resistance just because we don't get too many wicks. It's a lot of candle bodies. It's a lot of tight formations, right? We gradually go down. We gradually go up with candle bodies. It's not a lot of wicks. So it's tough to do analysis on. But again, like most of the tokens we've covered, what do we do here? We're at a multi-year low, and we could only go down so much further, right? Roughly from current price to about the low $3 range, high $2 range would bring $3.48 as a 54% movement to the downside compared to current price action. To our blue horizontal ray is 575%. So again, potentially not the best setup risk to reward ratio, but just looking at the chart, right? We're at such a low point, multi-year point. Again, we don't have the trend line to support it like we did on some of the previous other tokens to support that, hey, we're at a multi-year and multi touch point for a trend line. We don't have that plotted on this chart just because we don't have the wicks to the downside nor to the upside. But ETC looks great, not financial advice. Could we still drop down that 50%? Absolutely, like we just saw. But could we also pump up that multi-100%? Of course we can. So ETC, not the best risk to reward setup, but I just moved that. But awfully great setup on it. Definitely. ETC looks great. Let me make sure these are both locked in. ETC looks great. We could continue to move up to the upside and get some of these pumps, right? These pumps that occur, but we have to go a lot further now since we've made a lower low. So again, as long as Bitcoin holds up, as long as Bitcoin continues to do its thing, ETC along with the rest of the alts should start curling up and making that movement to the upside. So that's it. We can't do too much technical analysis on it just because we don't have the crazy wicks. We can't really plot too many trend lines and have them consider them valid currently on ETC. So ETC, short, sweet, to the point, amazing buying opportunity if you're in it dollar cost averaging, right? Just like we've said with the other tokens, take a look at your average price, take a look at market price. If your price is above it, hey, cool, sit, chill, relax, enjoy, look into other tokens, do other research. But if your price is, if your ETC is valued above your average price, hey, might be a time to dollar cost average, get into the token. And I know I just said that in two different ways, forgive me. But, you know, I love ETC, a great opportunity, a great swing trade setup, a token not to get married to, just to get in, set your sell limits and forget it, not financial advice. And you see potentially where we would be getting out. Again, not financial advice. Going back to JJ.
And yeah, so some of us, like I said before, this is not doesn't look too bad for us. We're definitely taking advantage of the lower prices on certain coins, specifically this one as well. We talked about this before in our previous lives. We got some good picks, especially ETC is one of those good ones. It has a good setup. It has been down for a really long time. Now we're just waiting for it to go up, and hopefully Bitcoin starts bringing up the entire market. Well, that was that for today's episode, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed all the entire technical analysis video that we did. When you guys do watch it, I'll be putting out the videos individually pretty soon here. But before we go on, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're currently at 810 subscribers right now, and we're on the path to 1,000 subscribers. It does not cost a thing to subscribe. If you guys like the content, please subscribe, support the channel, and, you know, at some point we'll get back to you as well. Maybe we'll do a giveaway once we get to 1,000 subscribers. That's a beautiful number to celebrate. Like this video, comment down below for future live streams. If you want us to cover different cryptos that you guys are interested in or you guys like, comment them down below. Hit us up on Instagram, X, wherever you guys could find us, and then we'll do, you know, we'll help you guys out. We can make good calls here. Like you said, you know, crypto plotted a lot of trend lines and Fibonacci levels that, you know, came through, and it's just a matter of time that for everything to flip, and when it does, we're gonna be ready here. All right, guys.
Bro.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to hand it over to Crypto Poppy. Say some nice words to you guys. Say bye-bye.
All right. Have a good night, you guys. Get some rest.
Thank you for
joining the stream.
Yep. Have a good night. Thank you guys for joining us today, this Friday night, February 6th. Yeah, so the day is almost over. So
True.
Enjoy, guys. Let me hand it over real quick. I'll put some music, guys, for you guys to sign off to. Let me turn on my mic. Bye-bye, guys.